Hello, everybody, and welcome to Phandalin by Night, D&D 5th edition, Lost Mines of Phandelver-ish module. Like, we're playing loosely the story, but we are very much also doing our own thing, as you can see by our amazing Feywild. Well, it's shaped as the Feywild right now, but we're in a plane of restitution, a plane of healing, a plane of therapy, really, for most of the players. Not Sangane. We are in a place that was activated through a rod of security. This beautiful map, by the way, was created by Tail Maps. It is fantastic. You can find them on Reddit, Instagram. They have a Patreon. I will throw a link in the chat. It is gorgeous. The faux wild, as Whimsy has just pointed out to us. We love it. I would need to introduce my players, and then let's get into it, because we have maybe a resurrection to do. Maybe. We'll see. I hope everybody brought their A game. No, Sean's like, that was not me. I'm out. We're done now. Okay. Let me go around. I'm going to make Sean go first, since he thought he was getting out of it.
Hey guys, I'm Sean. I play non-human paladin, and I'm going to try to attempt a resurrection. No guarantees.
It is going to be epic. You are a human paladin. Okay. I've thrown in the link for Tail Maps for this beautiful map. We'll go to Amanda.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I play Whimsy, the Tiefling Warlock. He, they, and Whimsy's just really not ready to lose another friend, so I'm going to really hope this resurrection works. Although he also recently found out he didn't necessarily lose a friend and has some questions to ask about that.
Questions may be coming. We may not get to the resurrection just because of what's going on with Sangane. We'll see. Nikki.
Hi everybody, Nikki here. I'll be playing Denny, the Tiefling Bard. And I am looking forward to crying on camera live in front of an audience again. So let's experience that together.
Third week in a row, baby.
Yay.
It's like a sub stream. It's, that's what we're doing. Instead of a hype stream, we're just going to make Nikki cry every week. Mike.
Hi, Mike. I'm playing Sangane, he, him. I don't know where I am.
It's true. Sangane disappeared at the end of the last episode, and he does not know where he is. Well, Sangane does. Mike doesn't. I didn't. Sarah.
Hello, my name is Sarah. I'll be playing Graja Ragerock, the half-orc barbarians, she, her, for the both of us, and I'm so happy to be back. I loved the character lore drop of the last episode. I've been looking forward to this ever since I got back, so I'm ready to do it.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what Graja gets out of our plane of requirement tonight. And last but very not least, Najra.
Hey everyone, I'm Najra. I'm currently playing the Dead Monk. We'll see how it goes from there. And good luck, everyone.
We'll see. Okay, and I am Sarah. I'm your DM, and let's get into it, shall we? Let's just do this. When last we met our heroes, the group had found themselves in a semblance of Whimsy's childhood home, and they got the chance to kind of deal with some of their previous trauma and reasons for why they're doing what they're doing. Denny had a chat with his grandma and began to make a cloak for Jart. Whimsy had the chance to build a new connection to his father and to learn the answer to a very long-held question. Nine was able to set a new goal and a new path for himself and kind of unleash and let go of some of the trauma of how he had been raised in a pretty brutal environment. And then Sangane has a lot to learn. And potentially a lot to answer for. As he is called to, and as he called out to the Stormlord, he was taken out of view of Nine. But we're not going to start with Sangane because that would make things too easy for everybody. We're going to start with our half orc, who at the very beginning of coming to this plane, looked around, saw Jart's body cradled in Nine's arms, gathered up Droop, and needed to find some space for herself. She wandered away and found herself a little kind of under home area that she and Droop got to spend some time in. After restless hours, exhausted, trying to deal with coming out of a frenzied rage, seeing two friends go down, one of which was very nearly her own fault. Graja comes to this place with some guilt, some frustrations, some big feelings, some big emotions. And after a time, finally ends up just kind of passing out. A soft knock at the door has a villager bring in some food, which Droop devours. And he goes to find some more, leaving Graja to rest. And Graja, you wake up as you can feel somebody playing with your hair.
Drew, what are you doing? Like, stop playing with my hair.
You hear this lower female voice, but kind of deep and lower, a lot like your own, actually. And you hear her say, "Child, stay still. These braids will not do themselves." And you feel like a little pull as your mom is braiding out your hair.
What? Just...
And I think she's kind of like half asleep, almost like having been kind of gently awakened by this touch on her hair. And so I think she just kind of goes along with it. She's like,
sorry, Mom. Sorry. I'll stay still.
You hear kind of the sizzle as some source of heat is pressed into the end of the braid to kind of seal it. And you hear the crimping of metal as beads are put onto these braids. You know the significance of this particular style. And this is as a woman becomes a warrior for her kills and for her triumphs in battle. Her hair becomes adorned, almost telling kind of the story of her fierceness in the battle. And you hear kind of the clinking. Your mom must have been working for a little bit before you woke up, because there's a little bit more weight to your hair. And there are several strands, some bigger, some very thin. Some of them have beads, some of them do not. Some of the beads are metal, some of them are kind of wood. One of them is made by these very delicately braided, like long grass stems that's been wrapped around. And you kind of get a glimpse of some of them as your hair falls over your shoulder. And there are a number of different significances to these. And she doesn't really speak to you very much. She seems very focused on her task as you're starting to wake up.
Is it almost done?
She takes a deep sigh. One that you recognize as your mom being slightly annoyed at your impatience. You've had this before. Your mom was a demanding figure growing up, fully orc. She had very high expectations from her community. Being one of, you lived in a mixed community. There were orcs and humans, but even within kind of the mixed group that you grew up in, very few like orcs and humans intermarried, much less had kids together. That was kind of rare. You were one of maybe just a couple of half orcs in your tribe. And she carried a lot of that weight on her shoulders. She must have. And you hear her take this deep sigh and then say, "Your humanity always made you impatient, little one, but we can be done for now. Tell me, how come this strand is incomplete?" And she holds it up, and you can see that about half the strand is braided and half of it just hangs loose.
I mean, I guess it's because I don't know. I'm not done my training. I'm not done my. I haven't earned it yet.
You left a battle incomplete.
I thought that sometimes you have to retreat in order to win the next battle, right?
Of course, that is not why this, and you see her start to try to braid it, and she gets like a couple of the knots and the hair falls loose again. It will not stay braided. And she says, "That is not the case for this child. This is because not that you retreated. You did not retreat. You left a battle unfinished. Tell me what happened."
There were so many enemies. They were coming up out of the ground. It was like I've never seen anything like that. And they were so ferocious. They would just bite and claw, and there were all these villagers there that were in danger, and even before that there were different enemies, and then one of my fellow warriors fell in battle, and I didn't want anyone else to fall that battle either. So, yeah, I guess it's not finished.
You see for a moment her mask kind of drop and this softening of her features. And you see her for the first time kind of make this deeper connection as she looks into your eyes. And she tucks a couple of the braids behind, tucking back the one that won't finish, pulling it out of view, of herself and of you. And she says, "People die in battle. That does not scare us. That does not scare an orc. People die in battle when it is good, and people die in useless ways that serve no purpose, ways that dishonor their lives. To live is the knowledge that all will die. So what scares you about losing them? Why is your battle unfinished because of another?
I mean, you remember what it was like when I was younger? Like, I didn't have, like, good friends. I was just alone and doing my studying and trying to bring honor to our tribe, to show everybody that the alliance was good and that it was a way to make our tribe stronger. And when I left, like, I made friends, like, from the beginning. And as soon as I did that, one of them died. Right as soon as I was getting to know him. And I was weak. And I tried to make my strength come up after that. And it was just one thing to the next thing. And more enemies and things I've never seen and things I don't understand. But Jart understood. Jart understood what it was like. It was a similar way that we grew up a little bit. And, you know, they knew what it was like to be a warrior, an honorable warrior, always honorable. That's what they were. That's why it's so unfair. And I don't know, it's just the connection that I had with them, it made death feel different. It was always some thing that was just out happening in the battles with the humans and the orcs and all our other enemies. It was happening out there and not where I was. And it was mysterious, and it was I didn't understand it. I didn't understand what death meant until I left. And then when it happened, I forgot everything I learned.
Your mom does something unexpected for you in this moment. And she embraces you with a deep, loving hug in a way that she has not done in years. And you feel kind of the wetness of her tears fall onto like the back of your neck. And as she releases you, she turns around, turning her back to you fully. And for a moment, there is this bit of panic, because this is the move. This is how people in your group show that they are like literally turning their backs on somebody, that they are like shunning them. And for a second, this like fear grips your heart. And then she pulls her hair, spreading her hair apart, and pulls out this long strand. Half of the braid is undone. And she says, when you love someone like family and they leave you, sometimes you never get an end to the story. Sometimes you never get honor. And when your father left us, it was because I never finished the battle. And I never let him go. And I do not want to see this happen to you. I have hid this and worn it in shame. And I do not want this for you. Sometimes your family will go, and that is okay. That does not dishonor to you. and it is not dishonor to them.
Why didn't you just show me? If anyone could have understood, it would have been me. It was just you and me.
Because you had enough to deal with. And even orc children deserve to be children and not shoulder the shame and burden of their parents. And I did not realize that my dishonor, that my pain would serve the purpose of helping you to deal with yours. So I kept it to myself. And I regret that.
Maybe it can be different then. Is this...
And I feel like at this point, Graja maybe like is possibly questioning the reality or the dream state or I feel like maybe she's starting to, the illusion is starting to sort of crack for her. He's like,
I'll remember what you taught me. I still love you.
I do love you, my girl. And when you come home, we will heal this together.
I think Graja reaches out for her hands, for her mom's hands, like.
She takes your hand and she just holds it to her cheek and just like treasures this moment of connection with you.
I can do this. I can figure it out.
You're not alone. You never have been. And you don't have to worry about making me proud. You've never had to. And you don't have to worry about them either. And she kind of looks out the window across the courtyard. You see Denny like running to this little cart of fabric. You see Nine sitting by the water as this like beautiful glow lights him up. You see the light across the way in the window where Jart's body is. Family takes many forms. And even if family changes and leaves, whether it is by choice or death, your honor, your place in the family is never threatened because of the choice of another. Learn that lesson now.
Yes, Mother.
She takes a couple steps towards the door and she turns back and holds up some beads. You can see some beads in her hand that are the ceremonial beads of the acts of service to Grumpsh, which is the deity who is revered in your town. And she goes, when we next speak, we'll also speak about why these won't stay on you. But that's for another time. And she turns and leaves the door.
And I think that, you know, that statement sort of, she feels like a little, like, it's almost funny. Like, wow, she can even tell. We didn't even talk about it, and she knows still. I think that is just sort of a illustration of the relationship that they've had. So Graja is still in this room over
Raja's
here.
in this room, and as you're just kind of sitting there for a moment, you feel like the little kick of feet as Droop is like clearly having some kind of nightmare, or chasing something in his dream. Like he's on the bed beside you, and like a burrito under the covers. Like he is wrapped in multiple layers, and like kicking you and mumbling about something.
And Graja will just like kind of draw him like close to her body and just try to comfort his movements as he goes through this dream.
You hear him, some of the words are coming through, and you hear him like kind of pleading. He's having a nightmare about the bugbears that he used to be in service to, and he's kind of pleading for some mercy. He feels in his dream he's being punished for something. You've seen him have these nightmares before, like there is some deeper psychological trauma. Droop needs.
We relate
Droop
on that.
Needs some therapy, yeah.
On that level.
Yeah. But as you pull him close, he takes this deep breath and snuggles in and like calms. Over the course of the next day, you largely kind of remain by yourself. I think it's going to take some time to figure it out. When you wake up, your hair does have these braids. These beads are in your hair. So whether your mom was here or not, you have adornment on your body that did not previously exist.
Was it real?
And she's just rolling the beads in her fingers, feeling all the new ones, looking at them as best she can. And I think she'll sort of like, you know, give Droop a little pat on the head or something, and then I think she's kind of ready to emerge back into the fray.
And as you do so, it is kind of we'll say it's the evening of the second day. 9, Sangane has been gone for hours. Like more than a half of a day at this point.
Yeah, I think 9, as soon as he seen Sangani disappear, he would probably start freaking out a little bit, like, fuck, oh, I shouldn't have put it too close to him. Like what did I do? But yeah, he would go over to the diamond and pick it up and and probably try to find somebody, like and tell them what happened. Who would be closest to me? Let's see.
There are multiple people, like each of the other members of your party have different basically like little rooms or homes off this big circle. So you can find Graja or Denny or Whimsy, or all three if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think 9 would, he not knowing where everybody was, he'd run out with the diamond to the little pond or whatever, and
Mhm.
just run out and say, "Hey guys, I need some help." Like, yeah, Sangani's disappeared into this diamond or something.
You guys all hear as 9 kind of calls out that Sangane is missing. All of you hear it. Not Jart, you're dead. The rest of you.
Damn. Who?
Whew.
Gotta keep the realism here, friends.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with a filter. I think it's time.
Not you. You.
I mean, you hear, you just can't do anything because you're dead. I think at this point, Denny would stick his head out of the little area that he's working in. He's looking like he's harried. He's got just like one of those tape measure things around his neck. He's got a bracelet with one of those pin cushions on it. He's got pins in his mouth. He's holding a pair of scissors in his hand. He comes out and goes, "What? No, absolutely not. What are you talking about?"
We were in the room. I showed him this diamond that Lathander had given me, and we were talking about possibly finding a way to bring Jart back, and a flash of light happened, and when it dissipated, he was gone, right in front of my eyes.
What?
Denny's going to very carefully walk over and place a hand on Nine's shoulder and go, "Do gods talk to you often? Is this a thing that happens to you a lot? Is this
When I ask questions sometimes.
interesting?" Okay. And that's the story. He was just gone.
Yeah.
Like Lysander took him? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know, friend.
Okay. Okay.
Did he leave anything behind after the light? Was there like a shoe or?
No, it took his clothing.
Good, I guess.
I mean, this place is really strange. I don't know. Maybe it's not bad. Maybe he's. I don't know. We don't know anything about him. We don't know where I don't know. Maybe he has kind of special magic and he was like teleporting to somewhere else to get something. Maybe he did it on purpose.
I'm just worried because when we were in the room and I was speaking with Sangani, Sangani was looking in a mirror and I could not see his reflection. And I tapped
He's been a
into
vampire this whole time.
I tapped into my senses, and it was very confusing. It seems that the individual, I don't know, it's not like he's undead or anything, but his aura is desecrated.
At this
Oh,
point, Whimsy's
that's
leaning
not good.
against Whimsy's just leaning against the dining area there, holding a tray of fruit as he listens to all this, looking increasingly awkward as he has stuff to add but doesn't really want to out Sangane. And he quietly just sort of says, "My dad did mention something about him being over a millennium old." And then quietly shoves a piece of pineapple in his mouth, like.
So yeah, I'm worried. I did see this negative energy in him, but in the same, it wasn't all bad though. It's extremely confusing. And I don't know. And I guess 9, he'd take the diamond in his hand and he'd put his put his hand on top of it and try to like call out to Lathander to see what took place, like if he was the one that took Sangani.
Give me a religion check.
Shit.
And
Got
First
this.
roll.
That is a 17.
You place your hand and you kind of reach out to see if Lathander is available to answer some questions. You, despite Denny looking at you strange, you know what you have in that connection with Lathander. You're not worried about somebody else's judgment. You have
No.
seen more
Yeah.
than enough to know that this is secure. And you reach out and there is no connection. You can't feel Lathander. You can't reach to that divine place. There is a connection that is closed in this moment.
I guess
I'll tell you this, that is creepy as shit to somebody whose whole like worldview is the understanding that the gods play a critical part of the world around them, and you in particular have spent your life devoted to this one. This is very bad. This is on the verge of panic attack bad for 9 to not be able to now have this connection. Before it was like, even if you didn't get a direct answer, you knew that Lathander was there paying attention. You knew that overall the moral arc of the universe would gear towards good. You have no assurance right now. This is not great.
I guess 9, he would come out of his little trance. Eyes would probably stop, like dissipate from trying to connect to him. And he basically just say out to whoever standing, this is bad. I can't connect to Lathander, and like something feels wrong.
Denny's going to turn to Whimsy and steal a grape off of his plate. And while he's chewing on that, say, so that stick thing that you had that brought us here, is that like doing something to us? Should we leave? If we leave, do we go back to the cave? Do we get to choose where we go? What's happening?
I don't 100% know. Like, there's a reason I didn't click this until then, and I only clicked it because my father spoke to me and essentially told me to click the thing. Like, I don't know. Like, I know this is a safe spot. I can feel it. I know that this is supposed to be what we need. But I don't know how it works. I don't know the details. I've never been here before. This is loosely based on my house, but it's different and it's weird and it's not actually the Feywild, but it looks like it and it feels like it, but there's subtle differences, and I don't know how much is real and how much isn't. But I don't know. Maybe he found a way to leave. Maybe he went back to the cave. Maybe. I don't know.
Where's your father now? And I guess Nine's gonna like try to call for Oberon.
Call out for Oberon. Nobody appears.
Nine's extremely worried now. Like he's like, get me out of this fucking place type.
Yeah, Danny's feeling pretty itchy about this too.
Graja is just plain confused, I feel like, but I feel like there's some sort of sense of like resoluteness that she's experiencing after this kind of like somewhat healing conversation that she's had with this figment of her mother, or however that worked. So she's like,
Okay. Okay, so we don't know where Sangani went. You can't talk to Lathander, but he gave you the diamond. And now Whimsy's dad isn't around either. So, okay, what we should do is look for clues to see where Sangani went, and then we have to do something about Jart. So, 9, where were you? Where can we go to the place where he disappeared?
9 kind of, I guess, figuring what the hell. Yeah, he takes him back up to the room where Jard is and basically says, yeah, we were standing right here. I was showing him this diamond that Lathander gave me. And he kind of, we're trying to see what we would do with the diamond. And I believe he called out for somebody, not knowing who, but a flash of light came out of the diamond. And once the light dissipated, he was gone.
and Garaja looks pensive for a second, and then she just starts calling.
Sangani! Sangani, where are you? You gotta come back.
If 9 looks into this diamond, does he see anything?
Tiny little
It is-
Sangane hanging out.
Right?
It's like a snow globe, and he's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Like beating on the glass or something?
No, you look in and you see, it's like looking into a giant gem. It's this beautiful, it does have this kind of glowing, emanating light. But even that looks paler than when Lathander gave it to you.
So is there any does this diamond seem magical or anything, or is it just a diamond?
You can make an Arcana check. Anybody is welcome. Anybody who's proficient in Arcana can make an Arcana check.
Let's see.
I'm a bard. I'm proficient in everything.
It's true.
Oh no, we're
You're
not
badass.
finding out nothing. That's a 4.
17.
Like
You-
10 minutes.
If it gets higher than 17, Whimsy, just let me know. As you're looking at it, 9, Denny comes up and kind of impatiently lifts your hand up to see it a little bit closer. And the diamond itself does have something in it. There is some arcane manner to it. It is roughly divine, is what you can tell, but not being a learner of the divine yourself, you don't necessarily understand all the implications of this.
Okay.
Mine was a 17. So.
Hey, and for you, as you you're just trying to look around, and what you notice is that you've been used to kind of being able to feel your dad around when he was around, and you don't feel that right now.
He did say before he disappeared that people were mad at him for saying things he shouldn't, and he'd have to go deal with that. So Whimsy's not too thrown by Oberyn being busy.
Right.
He did say he had to deal with stuff. He said too much. So Whimsy isn't too thrown by not being able to contact Oberyn right now.
Yep, yep, yep. Anything else you guys would like to try?
Denny would like to take a look around the room, very like Poirot, Sherlock Holmes style, trying to find specific clues. Unfortunately, I rolled 7, so I'm pretty sure I only found dust bunnies.
It takes you a really long time. With a roll of 7, it's not necessarily that you fail, it's just that you are being very thorough and searching every corner and crevice. You are searching for signs of Sangane, and it isn't even like you can find, like as you look at the floor, you can see footprints of where you guys had tracked kind of blood onto the carpet coming out of the cavern. None of them are Sangane's.
Hmm.
There is no trace of him here.
Whimsy's gonna quietly go to a back corner of the room and softly call for Velen. Because he's not sure what he can trust that he heard from Oberon, but Oberon did say that Velen wasn't dead. He dies, but he does that. And so he's softly like standing out on the back balcony, being like, Velen? Sangane? Velen? Hello? Not sure what to believe anymore.
Make an insight check as you're kind of like trying to guess at what your dad was meaning by this. Make an insight check to see if replaying the conversation in your head helps you to discover his meaning.
9 doesn't trust this place. He's seen some guy put coins in a plant and they just fell to the ground.
13?
13. As you're kind of replaying this conversation, it doesn't make sense, right? You saw Velen died. You like consecrated his body. You buried him, put him in the river and watched him flow away. What do you mean you would not have done that? None of you would have done that if he were alive. Like there is a disconnect. Your dad wasn't lying. He absolutely meant what he said. And you also know he's not gonna outright lie to you, but there is more to the story that you're not quite sure of what that is. Graja?
Man, the leads are dry. The leads are dry. I guess I think her next suggestion would be like,
Well, I mean, should we just like walk around in this place and just kind of check? I mean, I know he kind of just disappeared, but I don't know. I mean, I haven't been everywhere here. Maybe I saw that like big pool of water. Like maybe that could be something. I don't know.
Yeah, we can check, but I personally feel we need to leave this place. And he looks over at Jart, but I'm not leaving her here.
No.
I do not like this place.
So do we just push the button again and then maybe we leave?
I say
What if it
Oh.
leaves Sangane behind?
we
What if then
let's check, see if there's anything else we can find as quickly as possible, and then just I don't know, we'll take it from there.
And what if it sends us right back into the middle of the battle?
And that's something I will have to face head on, I guess.
Something we'll all have to face, villagers included. We'll all be dumped right back.
Is there anyone else
We're gonna
around
have
here
to
that
be
we can
more
ask about stuff?
Personally, I've ran out of contacts, so
There are the other villagers that are here. They have largely kept to themselves, especially around Graja and Droop. They're not super, for obvious reasons, interested in starting a relationship with you. They, for the most part, it's really Nine who they've connected with the most, rather than the tieflings and the half orc. And they don't seem to know very much. They were taken from a couple of different villages. Some of them come from Phandalin, a couple from Coneyberry, a couple from Leylon, but they don't know what their purpose was. Some of them are missing friends and family members who they had been traveling or staying with. And you guys, you know, the night is starting to press on, and you're no closer to finding Sangane. Sangane, we, just as you put food into your mouth, sorry, buddy.
It is what it is.
We find ourselves, you are such a fucking troll.
damn hot rods.
Piece of shit. We find ourselves choosing my words very carefully here. Okay. We find ourselves in a expanse of darkness. Rain or water drips from unseen heights above us. And at the very distances of like the periphery of the horizon, there are flashes of lightning. And you stand amongst a group of yourself.
Okay. Am I standing on a surface? Am I?
There is a surface. I have to turn off the Twitch chat. You guys are too much. There is a surface. There is some, it's kind of crusty. There is like a crunch underfoot. And as you start to look around, all of you start to look around, looking at each other, sizing yourselves up. Dwarves, elves, humans, tieflings, genasi, a whole pack of kobolds, a turtle, a grung, a minotaur. There are hundreds of incarnations. All of them share this bluish sheen in some way or another. All of them have wings. All of you have wings.
Look back. Do I have wings?
You do. You look back on your elven body, wings. You look back on your dwarven body, wings. You look back on your human body, wings. You look back on your half-orc body, wings. You are, in this moment, almost Borg. You look back and see 100 options.
Now that I've gathered you all here today. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello,
Oh, shit.
hello,
We're-
hello, hello.
They're not responding. We're all just speaking in unison.
Mhm.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Vampire vibes. Yeah.
Time to start that acapella group you've always been wanting to.
What is this? Do we all mirror the same movements?
No, every person, every you has, you're not all like playing that theater game Mirror where you're all doing exactly the same thing at the exact same time. The dwarf is checking the ground. The elves are looking up into the sky. The Minotaur is taking off running as far as he can get to see what this not maze is.
And it's an expanse of blackness, darkness.
Darkness. Like you can see it is dark, but it is not blackness. It's not like pitch black. Like a dark theater. Like you can see that there is nothing.
Oh, good. And nothing except the lightning in the distance.
In the very periphery of the horizon line.
I honestly don't know what to do.
As you're kind of looking around, one of the little kobolds comes up to you. You can see that the kobolds have like spread out amongst yourself and start poking you in the shin.
Hey.
Says,
Reach down.
what you do? What'd we do? Why we here again?
What do you mean again?
You the new one. Why we here again? How you mess this up?
What? Mess what
You
up?
mess it up. You and he calls over. New one, new guy. And the kobolds all start to like circle around you. You notice that you have started to look at you.
Oh, great.
You are the center. You are the center of attention now.
I'm the center of my own attention.
You are a metaphor for your whole life, Mike.
Wow. I'm quite a hot rod.
Subtle.
All right. Seriously, what's going on? Why? What? New at what? What am I new? Why am I the new guy?
You the new
Explain.
guy. We live the life. We learn the lesson. Then we live another life. Learn new lesson. Same
not-
lesson. Always same lesson. You messed up.
What lesson?
Last one messed up too. And they point, and you see Velen sitting on the ground, just staring blankly into space.
Last one. What do you mean last one?
Not learn lesson in 3 or 4 times. This isn't good. We need to finish this.
What is the lesson I'm supposed to learn? Why? Who are all these people?
He looks at a nearby dwarf who's standing nearby you, and you hear him in clear dwarf. He says to dwarf you, he says, "This one's dumber than the other ones. That's why he didn't learn the lesson. It's fine. We try again."
Roasted by a kobold, dang.
I've been reduced to this. Why
How
don't
you die?
explain-
How you die?
I'm not
How you
dead.
die? Everyone die before they come here.
No, I'm not dead. I was in a I don't know, demi plane, something. I didn't die. My friend died.
You died. Your
No,
friend.
I'm not
We
dead.
all friend. We all you. you-
No, listen.
You die.
Listen,
You come
short stack.
here. You die. You come here.
No, I'm not dead. I'm telling you.
He just looks at you like you're dumb. You're so dumb. And one of the taller, extremely tall, maybe 12, 14 feet tall, bald, smooth skin, no hair on this giant of a humanoid,
Holy crap.
comes up to you. And she says, "What do you mean you didn't die? We all died." And that's when you start to notice that the dwarf has like this deep cut in his neck. The elf has blood kind of pooling under his tunic.
Oh, shit.
There,
I'm
you start to notice as all of the ways that you have died are starting to appear on these bodies. Something kind of clicks for you. You remember, you had a dream or a vision, and you remember this vague sense of thousands of deaths, hundreds of deaths.
You're all dead.
Yes, you die too. That's
No,
what we say. You
I'm
die.
not.
How you die.
I didn't die.
And the tall woman looks down. Well, of course you died. That's how we get here. We live a good life. We've learned our lesson. We have people to mourn for all of eternity. And we come here and then we start again. That is our cycle now.
Thank you for giving me the moment of clarity in a sense of not being berated by an angry lizard person.
He bites your hand.
Yeah,
Point proven.
seriously. Madam, I assure you, I have not died. I was with my companions. We were rescuing villagers. We were beset upon by strange burrowing creatures. My companion was felled in battle, and we all something happened, and we appeared in this lush demi-plane, something to do with the Fae. I was talking with Nine, our paladin companion. We were discussing about Jart, our monk companion who fell, and I looked to the sky because someone named an entity known as Tiamat has been talking in my brain, and I don't know why, because I've never heard of her before this.
You hear about half of the group gasp and the other half go,
So I spoke aloud and I said a prayer, or I guess a request or something, a plea to Cord. And then I appeared here. As far as I
So
know, I haven't been struck down.
you serve Tiamat, which is problematic for the obvious reasons, but then you were asking Cord for support?
About that, I didn't select to serve anyone. I woke up on the edge of a riverbed with an elf staring over me. She took me in and taught me a few things and reunited me with my or connected me with a group of sellswords who were trying to free a town from some kind of oppressive tyranny.
You started over, yes, and you found your purpose, yes, and then you died and you came here. That's
I haven't died. To the best of my knowledge, I was not struck down in battle. I have no wounds. I was not attacked.
poisoned.
Haven't drank any. In fact,
She
I haven't eaten
looks-
any. I didn't eat any of the Fey food.
She looks confused, and as there is kind of this quietness that settles amongst you,
I'm trying to
there
think, was
is a light that starts very small and starts to glow brighter. And as the attention of you, the collective you, turns to this shape carves itself out of the darkness. Giant pillars of black marble forming and shaping and curling up and around and kind of coming to like this beautiful kind of Arabic like window kind of a structure. And out of this black marble, a glimmer and almost like fireflies releasing from it. And then it becomes a solid source of light and you can see beyond.
cool beans. What's that?
Do you go over to it?
Yeah.
You go over to it, and this is without any question in your mind, you know what this is. And as you get closer, you notice that on your side of this black marble are deep gouges. Some great clawed beast has gouged out, trying to, it appears, break the marble. It is chunked and broken in places. And this is a divine gate. This is a gate to, when passing through, be on the plane where the gods are, where the prime deities are.
Oh. Maybe I don't want to go through that door. Why won't anyone explain what is going on? Why are there so many of me? Us? What is the purpose of learning a lesson I've never been shown or taught? What am I to
This-
learn?
This short dwarven you is there beside you, and he says, "Ah, laddie, the purpose is that we learn our lesson and then we move on. And you haven't, but you also haven't died. So this is a new one on us, which is really saying something. Good job." And he claps your back heartily.
Yeah, okay, great. That's okay. So I haven't died. We're covering that. We haven't. I don't know what I'm supposed to learn exactly. What life lesson am I supposed to want to grow on here? What did you learn?
Well, I learned the love of a good man and the purpose of a life that honors and respects those around me. And you hear several people in the background agreeing that this is a similar lesson to what they had learned.
Is this? And I turn to is the kobold still with me?
You turn and look, and the kobolds are looking like past you at the divine gate with their eyes very wide.
What's in the gate?
there is a person standing on the other side of the gate. And she reaches out her hand. It is pale. This hand appears out of this cloak of black feathers, and
Oh,
she
shit.
reaches for you. She says, "Come on, they would like to speak to you now. It's best not to keep them waiting. I learned that lesson myself."
Who's they? Have we
It's,
met?
it's impossible to read her face because it is behind
Of
a
course,
mask of
yes.
porcelain.
Damn it. I'm so fucked. So I turn to the dwarf. What do I do?
He says, "She's not kidding, laddie. It's best not to keep them waiting.
Did you go?
This one's new on us."
Oh, good. Well, let's do this.
You grab her hand and she pulls you gently,
Yeah.
making sure that you're willing. She's not like hooking you and yanking you, making sure that you're willing. But as you start to go through, what appears on the other side of this gate is not the elf.
Not the elf.
What appears on the other side of this gate is 4 legs that touch the ground, a impossibly large body. You were roughly the same height as the Raven Queen herself. The great winged worm that appears on the other side of this gate is ancient and primeval and powerful and also chained. Huge, like ship anchor chains wrap themselves around as you go through the divine gate, and this tight arcane choker is around your neck. And instead of holding your hand, she holds one end of the chain.
So I'm not an elf any. Oh shit.
Very much not.
Oh shit.
I have questions.
I would. What the- So it's not. I'm looking at.
You look down and you see the unmistakable image of yourself. As much as you have felt comfortable in the skin of the elf or the dwarf or the kobolds or the minotaur, or this is you. This ancient blue dragon is who you are. And as you pass through this gate, you see that you are in what at first glance almost looks like a stadium, an arena of some kind, but is a courtroom. And you see on one half of the court all of the deities of good lawful alignment, and on the other half all of the deities of the not that, including importantly, front and center, Bahamut and Tiamat sits almost side by side. And you see the great titanium Bahamut look over and with this sneer, look to what could have been her sister at one point and say, Tiamat, we agreed not to get involved. In all of them, there was never a cleric. Why have you done this? And Tiamat looks, all 5 heads of Tiamat
Oh crap.
look around, and there is this brief moment of interesting on her faces as she says, I swear, I did not know. He called out to me. Had I known, I would not have interfered with the punishment. You feel this spike, this aching in your side. And as you kind of look down to try and figure out what's going on, there are these huge silver, they almost look like spears or spikes that are driven into you at different angles.
What?
Giant trammels
Holy shit.
that are driven into you. And this takes a while, this scene, as the deities begin to talk over one another and converse, servants coming and bringing things. It takes weeks as they discuss and try to figure out these trammels that are in you are ancient. They in parts have like rusted with age. This process takes weeks in the Divine Gate as they discuss what to do. And there is conversations that happen around, have you learned your lesson? Have you come to your senses enough? Has the punishment been enough? Can they trust you once again? What are the next steps? Because you've never gotten this close before. Is it time to let the ascension happen, or does there need to be some further remediation of your knowledge? And it's hard to keep up. This collar that is on you keeps you sleepy, keeps you sedated, keeps you from being able to move. You are deeply uncomfortable. These trammels hurt in a way that even in 1,000 deaths you haven't felt before. And finally, Lathander turns to you and says, well, you haven't spoken, but I guess it's time to hear what you have to say. Are you ready for an eternity of torment for your failures, or do you want to go back and learn some more?
Why am I here?
There is a muffled laughter from the audience. And you hear Shar, who is Saloon's like evil twin, basically, heckle you from the side. And she goes, all those years in puny mortal forms has left him so weak that he cannot even remember trying to ascend the throne, trying to take what fate had not given him.
What the?
And you see this moment of like flash as Saloon takes the briefest bit of pity on you. Maybe because of your connection to Jart, she takes a brief moment of pity on you and reaches out her hand, and like this silvery substance floats around you and forms and tells the story of how you millennia ago had tried to ascend to a place in the divine realm, that you had become so full of yourself that you tried to become a god. And when it failed, you raised 3/4 of the world before you could be stopped. You slaughtered man, beast, child, every creature that came across your path. And this punishment has been to replace what was lost, and that you have acts of service, acts of contrition that must be done before they will finally grant you basically death as a mercy.
Holy shit.
Maybe think next time you do a genocide. I don't know what to tell you.
Finish the job. What?
Not learning.
The lesson is not to do a genocide.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. All I heard was the genocide part.
It's too bad Denny's not there to like help you learn this lesson, but you are left alone. And in this moment, you hear Cord, the great Stormlord himself, his eyes flashing. And he says, well, his lesson has not been learned. And clearly, since the one that he reached out to she's a bitch, right? We can all agree on that. And he points to Tiamat. And he says, I suspect that we should just wipe the slate clean and start all over. What say we? I have things to do. And by allowing him to be here, we have closed ourselves off to all of the other planes. And that gets problematic. We need to solve this. God damn it, Steve. God damn it.
Gord. He's a rock god.
Stormlord.
Oh. Cord, the Stormlord, says we should wipe the slate clean and let him serve his sentence afresh. There is some assent among the deities, and without your input, Lathander stands and nods. Very well, the cycle begins anew. Do we send him back to the ones that he was with? They won't understand. I could tell mine, but we try not to tell the mortals. This is a lot for them to handle. Or do we give him to new people to shepherd and take care of? And you see Saloon go up to Lathander and kind of take his arm and whisper something into his ear. Right. Yes. Well, I suppose he was attempting to do something good. We should allow him that. And then we'll start the cycle. Very good, very good. And he looks around, all agreed. And you see several of the people be like, you see all of the good and lawful aligned deities agree. You see anger and confusion and frustration, but eventually even the evil aligned deities, even the chaotic aligned deities come to agreement that your punishment should start anew. Their followers were also purged. And there is what has happened never in creation, a consensus among the deities that this is to happen again. And with the snap of a finger, light fills the space, and Sangane is leaning over the space where Jart's body was. Denny, Whimsy, Graja, 9. It has been, by any kind of reckoning, 6 weeks.
Holy shit.
Whimsy had tried multiple times to click that button. Every time, 9, that you reached out to Lathander, there was nothing there. There was no more visits from grandmas or mothers, previous mentors or fathers. You have been in this place for a long time. But Sangane is back. And
I start smelling.
no, you've had gentle repose cast on you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Dang.
Whimsy, you feel arms around you as Oberon is there by your side for the first time in weeks, just hugging you tightly. And you hear him say, "I was so worried, my boy. It's good to know that you're all right. I had worried something went wrong. I would have felt horrible about that because this was my idea. I have other people to check on. I'll be back." And he disappears. 9, you feel like this calm, reassuring strength come back again. Sangane, you look around and like 9's got this super wicked beard going on, like quarantine beard.
Nice.
That you weren't expecting. Denny's rocking like a little soul patch. Like he's been experimenting.
It's the only hair you can grow on his
Can
face.
you really see the beard under the helmet though? Really? Yeah. No.
You have
Are
to
you
take
wearing
the
the helmet
helmet
the
off
entire time?
at some point.
Whimsy's got a puberty.
No.
Yes.
The
Like
whole
at least
time.
to eat.
This is the way.
This is the way. He is the Mandalorian.
The way.
Sangane, you had just finished calling out to Cord.
Oh
And
no.
all of a sudden, like 9 is not where he was a split second ago. And
I don't
now
remember
Denny,
any of
Raja,
it.
and Whimsy are there. Oh no.
Oh, son of a bitch.
That's what
Damn
you,
it.
that is the price that you pay for bringing hot rods to my show, Michael.
Oh, dirty.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Wow, the meat stick rivalry
That
is alive and
treats
well.
it all.
That's called getting beaten with the meat stick.
Oh my
Um,
god.
No, you do not remember any of this. And you are over Jart's body. The diamond isn't in your hand. The rest of you are there. Sangana, you're calling out to Cord because you're trying to figure out how to revive Jart.
Yeah.
It's been about 12 hours. You had cast Gentle Repose to buy some more time. And Sangane's back.
Are we all in the same room?
Mhm.
Whimsy walks over and punches him.
Sure, unarmed attack.
Great.
Not
I'll
even
allow it.
kidding. It might be a weak little Whimsy
I'll
punch.
allow
but
it. I'll allow it.
Someone's getting punched.
Just sucker punch to the side of the head. You take 2 points of damage and your ears are ringing.
And
Um,
he's just like, "Where were you?
What do you mean?
Weeks. It's been weeks. We
I
couldn't leave. We were stuck and you were
just
missing.
Call
The
them
villagers are
to
getting restless.
Cord.
9 grew a beard.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You left
You disappeared and you were gone. And we didn't, there was no clue to where you went at all.
I didn't go anywhere. I
We
just
have
called out the
you
chorus.
did.
everywhere.
Nine saw you disappear in the light.
What light?
He's not, you guys can roll an insight check. He's not being stupid. He's actually stupid.
Wow.
He's not playing dumb. He's just actually dumb.
It is actually.
Roasted.
Zara has been hitting him
Oh my
hard.
God.
Bam, bam, bam.
Right, Denny,
Okay.
Denny's gonna walk up to Sangane and put two hands on either shoulder and lean in very closely, like almost too closely. Be like, what was the last thing that you remember?
9 handed me the diamond.
Hmm.
We were trying to figure out how to bring Jart back.
Hmm.
And I looked up. I remember pulling out some coins, trying to tuck them into the earth the way. So that's a long story. And then I decided, since it wasn't working, that I looked up to the sky because I remembered. I honestly, as a player, can't remember the character's name. The benefactor, the elf.
Viesa.
Viesa. Viesa talking to Cord. So I said something and said, maybe, hey, Cord could help me or something, show me what to do. And I looked back down, and now everybody's not where they were when I mean, you're all in here. You weren't in here before. He was over there, didn't have a beard.
That was
I'm not
6
holding the
weeks-
diamond anymore. That's disturbing.
It was 6 weeks ago. You left 6 weeks ago. Can't you tell? Look at this
Well, with
amazing
it-
beard I have. This, look at
That's
it. It's so
Fantastic.
big.
That's.
Graj is making a
Suits.
face at Denny's face right here. She's like,
I can
That's
see
one
Whimsy with like a
little
pencil
line of
mustache
hair.
or something.
Oh no, it's a full-on puberty stash. He can't grow a
Nice.
beard.
Nice.
It's terrible. It's real bad.
Little,
But Denny's very
six
proud.
hairs there,
you got a
he's
little,
really proud.
you got a little caterpillar in your nip there. Anyway.
No, that's how it's supposed to look.
Dirt,
There
you
you
should wash your face.
Bringing it back. Bringing it back.
sorry.
Oh,
You
bringing me back to
you-
high school. What you're doing?
you look around, and Sangane, they're not kidding. It has been 6 weeks. They seem very, very sincere at that. Importantly, Jart is still there.
Okay, that's good.
By the way, looking fresh to death in some new robes that I made. They're like legit as hell. Super black on the outside, except for some like red and gold sequins on the bottom. Then the inside is lined with like the most intense silk you can possibly find. It's like a gradient of like this really dark red in the hood and like goes down to like a really, really bright white, kind of like all the gradient of fire that you can possibly see with the naked eye.
Fly.
It looks dope as hell.
Badass.
Sweet. Yeah. She wasn't wearing that when. Okay, so
Denny
where the
had
hell have I
time to
been?
make them.
I've had 6 weeks to work on this.
Where have I been?
I was really hoping that you could tell me,
Yeah,
friend.
I don't.
because
We
have
don't
no
know.
idea. We have looked everywhere. We have been every single place. We have talked to every single person. We have dug up
Don't
every
contact
single-
their deities.
There
Couldn't ask God. Couldn't ask Dad.
was nothing we could do. You were just gone. We couldn't do anything.
I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I'm glad you're back. I don't know if I've said that yet, but I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're all right. But there's really nothing you can remember about being gone at all.
Nothing. I have no gap of memory between looking up and imploring to Cord, look down, and the gem is no longer in my hand.
Do you feel okay? Like,
I
are
feel
you
fine.
Okay.
9, give
I
me a
don't know what we're gonna
perception
do
check.
about Jart though.
Nope, that's a 5.
You're kind of like trying to angle yourself so that you can see through the mirror, like the reflection, to see if you can see Sangane. And as you go to like angle yourself, it's you see something behind you. There's a woman there in a black feather coat, white porcelain mask, bright red lips.
Would I happen to know? Being,
Absolutely, you would know who the Raven Queen is.
yeah. And I guess seeing her, 9 would kind of whisper to see if she could hear it. Like, why are you here?
She comes in and arranges her cloak as she sits quite fabulously on this little bench. You all see her walk in.
Denny is very
And-
impressed with the coat.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's like black with like these purple, you know how like raven feathers have like that very purpley sheen to them. It's gorgeous. And she
Okay.
sits down and she says, well, are you going to do the thing there? I'm here to see if my work is going to get undone. I've never seen it from this close, but because you're not on the prime material plane, I can actually watch it happen.
Do I know who she? Do I recognize her at all?
Make a religion check.
So what you're saying is no.
And sorry, just for clarification, so the Raven Queen is
Got it.
here.
You know who the Raven Queen is. Graja for sure would know who the Raven Queen is.
Right.
Because the Raven Queen is who takes people from their moment, it takes their soul from the moment of death on to the afterlife.
Natural 20.
Whatever that exists.
Oh,
She is absolutely here and she is fascinated. She is like geeking out watching potentially the undoing of her work. She very rarely gets to see this. And she says, go on, give him the diamond. Let's see if he can actually do it.
So you're just here to be amused.
No, I'm here to walk. You wouldn't understand. It's a bit like when, you've done something amazing and you've done something that really helps people, and then somebody goes and fucks it up. And I'm just here to watch that part of it because I've never seen it. I know that it happens. I've never seen it happen before, but I do have other things to do now that, we're back in action. So if we could hurry this along.
Oh, of course, we wouldn't want to keep you.
I got a natural 20 on my religion check for 23.
Yeah, you know who she is. And as she starts to speak about what she's here to watch, this like memory of, if we bring Jart back, then it will undo. She must have already taken Jart to the other side. She's here to see the other aspect of that. Like, you understand what her purpose is, whether or not you like it or not. And so she says, she points to you, 9, and she says, well, give him the diamond. Let's see if it works. You do know how to do this, right? I know it's your first time, but do you not know how to do this?
Do what?
Bring her back. God, you're dumb in every life. Bring her back.
Jar can't really come back.
Of course, child.
Yeah, I'm only level 4 as a cleric. I can't actually even do revivify. So I'm just kind of like,
She sighs.
what?
She
How am I
says-
supposed to do what?
Oh, right. The diamond. Let me see it. Well, let him see it. I can't. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to mess with it. It's Lathander's. Give it to him.
9 walks over and hands it to him.
Okay.
This diamond glows brightly in your hand. And 9, for a second, you're like, oh God, not again. Because
Yeah,
the
like-
last time it glowed like this, he
Yeah.
disappeared, right?
I grew a beard under my helmet. Yeah.
That's right. Um,
Just shaved the last
so itchy. It starts to glow, but then it maintains this very healthy glow. And she says, Lathander, he's enchanted it. I think it's, well, it's only going to be good for one time. Is she worth it?
I don't know about
I
everybody
have no
else.
idea who this lady is, but Denny's like, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Of course.
All right. Look, so I've never seen this happen, but here's what it goes like. Each of you need to find some connection. Ultimately, it is still her choice, which is why it doesn't work every time. But each of you finds some connection. You call out to her spirit, and then she gets to choose whether or not it's enough to leave the very good place I put her in, by the way. She's quite satisfied and happy. She's with her people, but if she's not done with you, I guess if you have a good enough reason to bring her back, and then you there, I hate to say cleric, you press it onto her and it will do its thing. That's the part that I'm really excited to see, because I understand the other part. Do you understand? Each of you have a reason to bring her back, right? And she points, the marvelous, beautiful one. And she points to Denny.
That's me. Thank you so much. Game recognizes game. Your code is fantastic. I have no idea what's going on right now, but I would love to see Jot back for many reasons. She's a good friend. She's a brave fighter. She's a good leader. And more importantly, she owes me $5. So I'd really like to see her back.
See.
And she says, look, we
Oh,
all, well, not we, they all have reasons. All of the other ones who have done this have had reasons too. I'm not here to judge that. That's for her to judge. You tell her, darling, you convince her to come back. Pretend like I'm not here.
Right? Denny's
Really
gonna
wish you weren't here.
sidle over to Jart and like lean down very closely. Say, I really need you to come back. I
Need
really need
$5.
that 5 gold pieces. And also, I not said this to a lot of people and meant it, but I really love you as a friend. And I really think that you are a good person, and I would hate to not be around you anymore. So come back if you want. I understand if you want to stay, but I hope that you come back. And then he's gonna fix the cloak a little bit, just kind of rearrange it so it's a little bit smoother and shuffle away.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
And because Denny is using persuasion, no one else can use persuasion.
My persuasion is pretty good. so.
I'm gonna intimidate
Uh,
Jart into coming back.
I rolled a 4, but I have a plus 11 for
Holy
persuasion,
shit.
so it's gonna be 15.
15. That's a success.
Holy shit.
And the Raven Queen just sits back. Who else would like to attempt to bring something?
Graja will.
Okay.
So Graja will approach Jart's body and kind of sit down and take their hand. Like, I feel like Graja's looking quite small in this moment, despite her actual size. And she kind of bows her head and looks at Jart's face. And she says,
Maybe it's selfish of me because she said that you're somewhere where you're happy and it's nice and with people that you like, but I feel like maybe we had a lot to teach each other. I already learned from you, and I don't want that to be done. I feel like we're both just starting out. there's I just feel like there's more. I feel like you're not finished. We both just set off. I just think it's not enough time for you. And I just want you to come back, that's all. But if you're really happy and you would feel better just being there, I understand. I understand that you fell in battle. That was honorable. And if you just want to close the chapter, then I understand. But maybe for me, for all of us really, you can think about it. And there's a lot more people we could help together, right? There's a lot more people that need us. There's still so much left that we didn't discover about this job, and so yeah, just please.
And then she'll kind of stare at their face for a bit and then kind of get up.
Roll. That's kind of persuasion.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really think about that when I was.
That's okay. That's okay. Roll insight to see, because a lot of what you were doing was like trying to figure out what the purpose for Jart to come back or to stay was.
Totally.
Give me an insight check.
Okay, here we go. Come on, dice. Jesus. It's a 2.
Okay. Who else would like to bring something?
I guess 9 would go up to her.
Sure.
It just wouldn't really say much like to everybody else, but he'd kind of be thinking about how she was fighting alongside him, trying to do some good, and how the friends that 9's met really respected her and kind of just wanting her to be back with them. He would go up to her kind of with like some water boy, wake your ass up, we got a game to win tomorrow vibes. And and he would just go down, kneel next to her, put his hand, grab his class, and just throw a couple like the lay on hands with her.
Okay. Religion check.
I was on 20. 11.
11's a success. We're looking for 10 and above.
Oh.
11's a success.
Yeah.
All right. Whimsy.
MC goes over and sits down cross-legged next to her, taking her hand, ruining the lines in the cloak that Denny so nicely smoothed out again.
There you.
He takes her hand and he's just like, you've got to come back. This is a terrible end to a story. Like in the story of us, when people talk about us, and they will, like your story can't end here. It's right in the middle. You can't just walk away from that. And as he's sort of holding her hand, he quietly presses an acorn into it. He knows this isn't the Feywild and magic like that doesn't work here. And intent and an object do not work like that, but he presses an acorn into her hand as a sign of long life and strength. And so he just quietly tucks that in there and puts her hand back down. He's like, you need to come back. We're absolutely useless without you. And our story can't end like that. And he pats her hand full of acorn as he puts it down.
Nature.
Go. No, go. Oh, fuck.
How it's been going.
That was 1, but +4, so 5.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
feel
That
like
magic really doesn't work here.
I feel like Whimsy has like the record of the most ones in this game.
Yep.
Possibly, yeah.
Sangane.
I tried.
Oh, okay. Standing there kind of mutely watching everyone, Sangani moves slowly up to Jart's head while she's lying there, takes the diamond and places it on her sternum, stares at it for a minute, kneels down. I don't understand you. And maybe that's because I don't have an understanding of anything to do with anything. I don't have a memory. I don't have a rudder. A boat adrift in a water of nothingness, and the only thing I have to steer me from impulses and dark voices in my own head are the people I surround myself with. And as he's doing this, there's little sort of static electricity sort of leaping out and sort of from like running down his arm or leaping into the floor. You are the most insufferable good person I have met. And to that, I owe you a debt of gratitude I cannot repay. You consistently show me that doing good without reason for benefit is simply a way of being, and I don't understand it yet. And it's not, I refuse to let this be the end of where I learn that lesson from. And he just summons from everywhere that he can in the room, just draws in as much magical energy, churns it into electric lightning, and basically just stares at and puts his fingertips over top of the diamond and just fires a shocking grasp, some kind of lightning surge into the diamond, almost basically a
Defibrillator.
defibrillate, basically.
And as you get ready to do that, you feel the icy cold touch as the Raven Queen's hands overtake your own. And she looks at you, your eyes kind of drawing up to meet hers. And just to you, she whispers, "What are you willing to give to ensure that this works?"
I don't know what I have to give.
Sure, $5.
What can I give that is worth this price?
She cocks her head to the side just slightly. And she says, "If she is as worth as much as you said that she is, there is a price that can be paid. Are you willing to pay it?"
Yes.
And as you press down, this shocking grasp, Jart's body jumps under the electrical impulse. Sangani, as you fall limp onto the ground, Jart's breath fills her lungs.
Oh.
That's where we're going to
Plug in
pick up
for Ed.
next week.
Oh my god, yo.
Sangane shows back up in that stupid afterlife.
I thought he was gonna kick me.
What the?
Oh.
Oh my god.
If you're willing to pay the price, then it doesn't need to be a ritual. Like I don't need to roll for it if you're willing to sacrifice for it.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think he knew exactly what he was giving away, but that's okay. Okay.
Well, he did. We made a deal.
So
Oh,
as we pick
boy.
up next week with our revived monk, looking fabulous, Najra has a week to sew this costume.
I'm gonna make it.
Then he had 6 weeks. You only get one.
I want to say thank you to my players. Mike, obviously you and I will talk this week around what this could mean for Sangane. Najra, Jart, welcome back. Be nice to have our monk,
Yes.
the heart
I'm
of
so
our party back.
happy. Yeah.
We get to kick ass a little bit more and do more dope monk shit.
Hell yeah.
And then potentially like getting out of this realm and figuring out what the world looks like after 6 weeks
6
of
weeks.
no deity intervention in the world.
Glassstaff is in Fiji sipping a Mai Tai.
Yeah.
Huh? So for those of you who came in right at the end, Sangane had some character lore drop happen this episode that required the divine gate to be sealed for 6 weeks. And while the Pantheon had adjudicated a court session, basically, and the world without deities for 6 weeks might come back to looking like a very different world than we left. I don't know if we're still playing Lost Mines of Phandelver. I have a
don't
week
even
to
think
figure
I
it out.
realized
We're
that's
kinda there.
what that would mean. I didn't even think about that. Oh no.
Nobody's answering our prayers.
Bureaucracy. It takes too long. Gosh.
Yeah.
Red tape.
It's nothing in the life of an immortal. 6 weeks, it's nothing. They went very
Right,
quick. They were
yeah.
done by lunch,
The children have
I was
definitely been
barely
left at
gone. I
home
don't know.
alone.
right? Those are billable hours. My amazing loves. Let's go with like Alive to Dead. So Jart.
Hey everyone, I'm Najra. I play. I played your Fire Genasi monk that was just brought back to life after dying a couple weeks ago. I'm so happy, and this is Loki, and I'm a professional cosmaker. I make cosplays from Critical Role, Disney, whatever you need. So my socials are in the chat. If you need anything, send me a message, and see you next week.
Absolutely. Sarah.
Hey, my name is Sarah. I play Graja. You can find me on Twitter at MC Diabetes. I am a creative partner at Martlet Games. Please follow Martlet on social. We do actual plays of Vampire the Masquerade, among some other fun games like 10 Candles. You can see me here on the Vancouver by Night channel on Saturday as part of the Saturday Vampire Takeover in Vancouver by Night Delve into Darkness. You should really tune in next week because my character is making her bid for Praxis to be the Prince of all Vancouver. So it's going to be very exciting. The look is going to be on point. So I encourage you, if you've never shown up, it's going to be a really fun, super interesting episode. And we'll see if the ST is going to actually let me be Prince. Because I'm still not sure. Other than that, you can find me here for D&D on Sunday. So happy to be back. Such a great session. So yeah, that's it for me. Just check on my social media to see what else I'm doing. Thanks.
Sean.
Hey guys, I'm Sean. I got to play Nine the Human Paladin. You can catch me here on Sundays and same channel on Fridays where I get to be an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. in Bodame's Rhyme of the Frost Maiden game. So you can catch me at Acting Foolish on most social medias.
Amanda.
And I play Whimsy the Tiefling Warlock. You can find me as Balder Dashing on pretty much every social media, although these days it's mostly just TikTok and Instagram, where I make dumb TikToks as various D&D characters of mine because it amuses me.
It amuses all of us. They're fantastic.
Yeah,
You should go
they're
follow her
amazing.
TikTok. Nikki.
Hi, everybody. Nikki here. I played Denny, the Tiefling Bard. You can find me on Instagram at I'm Poppy Field. And just a quick note to say that when Nine said he was wearing his helmet the entire time, all I pictured was his beard popping out of the bottom of his helmet because it was that long. So just so you know, that's what was in my head the entire time we were doing that.
And have you seen Tom Holland eating with the Spider-Man mask kind of thing? That's what I imagine when he said he eats with a helmet.
This is the way.
That's happening.
Absolutely.
This is,
We love it. Mike.
From alive to dead, huh? Wow.
I
Throw
didn't
that in
say
there.
is absolutely dead.
Hi, I'm Mike.
Least alive.
There was a bit of a lore drop this evening. Yeah, so that. You can catch my pre and post COVID cosplay adventures at Canadian Captain America on Instagram and TikTok, and CDN Captain America on Twitter, where I do most of my D&D stuff. I can be seen here from 2 to 4 p.m. PST on Sundays with this fantastic group of people. I'm running my own D&D campaign on this channel as well, 5th edition, on Tuesdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. PST, where DM Sarah is the cleric in my game, who almost also really died last week, but that's okay. It's a different thing entirely. This was on her own. She took it on herself. It's fine.
Sure. I like killing clerics. It's my pastime.
Even your own. And I am also
100%.
part of the Saturday Vampire Takeover with Barbarian Sarah, and where we're about to crown a prince. And it might even be Jude. Who knows? No, it's definitely going to be Jude. And I can also occasionally guest in other games, like the Changeling game that's coming up on, actually we don't have one coming up on Wednesday, probably the following Wednesday. That's just me.
So much going on. We love it. I am Sarah. I've been your DM for the last 20 something episodes, and hopefully for another 20 something or more. You can catch me here Sundays from 2 to 4 at Mike's game, Tuesdays 6 to 9 Pacific. And on my own channel, I host a show that highlights women in gaming. So we just had Najra on Thursday. This Thursday, we're having Belle Cher, who's an amazing cosplayer. And then the Thursday after, I've got Sarah Prime on. So that's going to be awesome. You can find me there at SMoreAD. Thank you to everybody who stuck around in chat and who had comments. We appreciate it. And who are we rating, Sarah?
Today we are going to be rating The Compound.
The compound.
Yes, the compound. So I think that's a new one for us. So please stick around, give them some love. Click on their name, the name of the channel, the compound, so that your viewer account gets transferred to them to give them some support. Give them a follow and tell them we sent you. And we will see everybody next time.
Yeah. See you guys next week.
Next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.